My 30-year-old Porsche wheels need some love. There's a lot of corrosion, a lot of scuffs, and a lot of damage. So today I'm going to show you how to touch up your wheels without needing a full respray. First, I'm going to spray the wheels down with some washing up liquid and water in a spray bottle and give them a really good scrub. And then I'm going to spray them down and use some wheel cleaner. This is slightly acidic, so it's going to really eat into the remaining dust and debris that's on there. I spray the whole wheel, let it sit for 5 minutes, and then agitate everything with the brush again. Then rinse again, let it fully dry, and we can take it to start prepping for paint. So of course we need our drill. This is my old Milwaukee drill. The second speed setting on the top doesn't work anymore, but it's absolutely fine for what we're going to be doing. We also need some wire brushes. Here I've got a selection. These are just from eBay. Came in a massive box like this with loads of different sizes. Oh, that is quite sharp actually. Ow. They come in several different flavors. You can buy just these if you want, or for me, I think this was like £10 for all of these, so I just thought I'd get a load. And then a drill sanding attachment. This is how we're going to get it nice and smooth. This was about £7 on eBay. I'll put links for everything in the description. These wheels are actually in really nice condition for the most part, except for a couple of bits of corrosion and obviously a scuff there. The other ones aren't too bad. This one's actually the worst one. So I don't want to respray the whole thing because they're really nice. I just want to fix the few little defects. The damage that we're trying to repair is going to dictate what you need. So for example here, this is just scuffed off. This isn't corrosion. So we're just going to sand that down. Here, there's quite a bit of corrosion, so we need to get that corrosion off before we can do any sanding. So I'm going to use the wire brushes. Go for this small one, so I can get in there nice and easily. You can use this one, but because you're putting pressure on like that and it's spinning, it has a tendency to go all over the place. I don't want to damage the rest of the wheel and create more work for myself. So I'm just going to use this one, go nice and slow, and just get rid of that corrosion. You want to be careful of your tire valve, because if you damage that, it could leak and then you'd have to get it replaced. But for me, these tires are getting replaced anyway. We want to get rid of all of this corrosion. Anywhere there's bubbling means there's corrosion underneath. So I'm just going to slowly start chipping away at it. These wire brushes are extremely aggressive, so take it slow. And we want to get down to nice, shiny, clean metal. Don't put your drill on a fast speed because it will take a lot of material away very quickly. This last little bit's going to be a bit tricky. I definitely should have worn some thick gloves for this. I've dug into the valve there, so that could leak if you have a fresh valve and this is a good tire, so just be careful. Worst case, you can just go at it with a hand wire brush or a little bit of sandpaper just to get in there for that last little bit. All that corrosion is gone. We've now got clean, bare metal, so that is ready to be sanded. I also want to touch up inside these bolt holes, and to do that, I think the best option is going to be this wire brush. I first placed the brush in the hole so I don't scratch the surrounding area, then I put the drill on a low speed and moved up and down. That to that. So much cleaner. Then just rinse and repeat. Now this little drill set comes with a load of different sandpapers. It also comes with this little sanding pad. So you just screw this adapter on, tight as you can, and that just goes in your drill. The larger the number, or the higher the grit, means the finer the sandpaper. So that is super smooth. The lower the number means the coarser the sandpaper. That is super rough. You can see the difference between that and that. So when it comes to prepping for paint, if you need to remove a lot of material, you'd go for a lower grit sandpaper. Realistically, something like a 240 is probably good for removing material. You don't want to go any coarser because it's just going to put deep scratches into whatever you're painting. An 80 is way too coarse. Now this drill sander is quite aggressive with how it sands, so you want to start with a slightly higher sandpaper. I'm going for a 400 grit here. And then we're going to tackle this scuff here. So this is deep. If I run my nail over it, I can feel that it goes in quite deeply. This one is more of a surface scuff and the scratch isn't too deep, so I'd use a higher grit sandpaper for that one. Putting the drill on a low speed, we're going to start taking some material away. Don't go crazy at first, just try a bit, see how it goes for you, because the drill is quite aggressive in how it sands. So that's already gotten rid of the scratch. You can also hand sand it with the 800, what I'm going to do here. This is going to give us a nice smooth finish when we come to painting. The higher the grit, the better the finish you're going to have with your final paint. Now the drill is good for taking a lot of material away, but it's not super precise. We're going to use the 800 grit sandpaper to remove the scratches from the 400 grit. If you look here, you can see that the scratches are slowly fading away. Running my finger over the sanded area is a great way to tell if it's smooth or not. With your finger, you'll be able to pick it up really easily. Give it a go, you'll see. Now I'm super happy with how this is looking. Now we want to scuff up the surrounding area. When we apply the color, we'll paint on the area where the damage was, because that's where it needs the most color, and then the surrounding area will use clear coat to blend everything in together. Next up, we're going to deal with this little scuff here. We can use 800 grit because it's just a surface little scratch and nothing too deep. Just go slowly and gently with the drill, don't take too much material away, and that should be good to go too. Then just remember to scuff up the surrounding area. When it comes to sanding, if you get a spray bottle with some water and a little bit of washing up liquid, you can then wet sand the area, which is going to avoid putting any deep scratches in, and it's going to give you a nicer finish in the end. I'm also going to sand in the bolt holes so they're nice and smooth. The final bit of sanding is on the corrosion where we use the wire wheel. I'm going for an aggressive 240 grit sandpaper, but the wire wheel has put a lot of deep scratches into the metal, so we're going to have to fix that. The most important thing was to remove the corrosion, because over time that could be detrimental to the structural integrity of the wheel. What we can now do is use some body filler to fill in those tiny little scratches to make sure the wheel is super smooth and looks perfect. I've got some finishing body filler because it's super smooth. I'm going to put a small amount on a piece of old cardboard, and then a good way to measure out the correct amount of hardener is to take it and run it along the width of the body filler. It's almost impossible to get the exact amount, so this gets me good results every time, and it's been working for me for years. Then just mix it up till it's one uniform color and we can apply it to the wheel. Take your time, try and squeeze it into all the scratches, and try and make sure it's as smooth as possible, because the smoother it is, the less sanding you'll have to do later. As long as you're wearing gloves, using your finger is a great way to smooth it out. If you've got any other areas that need a bit of body filler or have stone chips, now's the time to put it on. I've now let it cure for a few hours, and if it feels hard and you can't scratch it with your fingernail, then it's ready to be sanded. 240 grit will keep it smooth, but it will make light work of this body filler. Once you finish with the 240, sand again with some 400, then sand with some 800, scuffing the surrounding area as well. Now make sure you give the whole wheel a really good clean. You want to make sure there's no grease, dust, washing up liquid, anything that could contaminate the paint. Now, once the wheel is bone dry, we can start painting. Now I've got this Tech Pro silver wheel paint, which supposedly is supposed to match the original Porsche silver color. Try and get an exact match for your wheels, because it will make the blending process a lot easier. I've also wiped down inside all the bolt holes because there was a lot of dirt in there that comes off with a rag. Now keep a rag handy, because if you're doing the bolt holes like me, you will probably get some overspray, and it's very easy to just quickly wipe it away, as opposed to letting it sit, letting it cure, and then you've got to deal with it afterwards. So like this. Now you can use primer to get better adhesion, but I'm not fussed because there's old primer underneath, so we're just matching the color anyway. It shouldn't make a difference. You then want to follow the instructions on your can. Usually it's going to say shake for about 2 minutes and then spray 3 coats total, about 30 centimeters away from where you're painting, and you want to do a light coat on the first coat. Don't expect full coverage, just get a little bit of paint down. I'm replacing these tires because they're 13 years old, but if you have good tires that you want to keep, use some masking tape and tape around the edge of the rim onto the tire, protecting it from the paint. Then once you've painted all the sanded areas, we're going to wait 10 to 15 minutes depending on what your spray can says, come back and do the next coat. Here there's a little scuff that I missed, so I'm just sanding it again. I'll clean it and then I'll paint it. Then onto coat number 2. Shake the can for 2 minutes, and then the hard part is trying to remember where you need to paint. This paint matches really well with the old color, so it's already getting difficult to see where I've done the sanding, but I worked it out eventually. Then I'm going to put a little bit more paint down than the previous coat, going slightly heavier. Then leave it for 10 to 15 minutes, come back, do the final coat. And this is after the final coat. These wheels are looking so good, but we're going to take them to the next step with some clear coat. Now I've let these wheels sit in the sun for about half a day just to make sure the base coat is nicely cured, and then I need to clean the wheels down again to make sure there are no contaminants. Now I'm going to wet sand the whole wheel with at least 1000 grit sandpaper. This is going to give me a nice smooth finish in the clear coat. Now annoyingly, I've noticed a few bits of damage that I missed previously, so that means just repeating the previous steps: body filler, sanding, base coat, cleaning, then we're good to go. Now we also want the backs of the wheels to look good because you can see them through the holes in the front of the wheels. So I'm going to use some wheel cleaner, spray them down, and use an aggressive washing up sponge to try and get rid of all the dirt that's on there. You want to get rid of every single bit of dirt because your paint isn't going to stick to dirt. Then a very satisfying rinse down and repeat until all the dirt is gone. We'll be cleaning again later, but for now we're going to remove all the wheel weights. I've got this rubber wheel which attaches to the drill, and it's great for getting off the backing of wheel weights or decal stickers. The great thing is it doesn't damage the paint at all. There's also quite a lot of corrosion and tar on the back of the wheels, so I'm going to use a combination of sandpaper and the wire brushes to clean these up and make them perfectly smooth like the front of the wheels. If your tyres are balanced, don't remove your wheel weights, but because I'm getting mine replaced, I can take all my wheel weights off just using a screwdriver just to peel them off. Now I've cleaned the backs of my wheels so they're painted and ready to go. I've also scuffed up all the inside and all the outside of the wheels with at least 1000 grit. I'm going over the wheel with a tack rag to remove any dust. If the paint you bought doesn't perfectly match the paint of your wheels, provided you've scuffed up every surface on the wheel, you can then do a very light coat over the top of the whole wheel, and that's going to blend everything in perfectly. Now the exciting part, the clear coat. Rattle can clear coat will work fine, but I'm using 2K automotive clear coat because it gives a nice shiny look. Having waited at least 15 minutes between the last layer of base coat that you put down, you're going to put a very light coat of clear coat on top. We'll do at least 2 coats of clear. The second coat will be much thicker. When you're spraying, you also want to be spraying in an as dust-free environment as possible, and don't lay the wheel flat. If you paint the wheel when the wheel's flat on the floor, any dust that's underneath will just kick up from the spray can and it's going to get in your paint and ruin it. We'll then wait 15 minutes and do a thicker coat for the second coat. You can do a third coat if you want, but for these wheels it should be fine, and then we're done. Now remember, this is what they looked like before with scuffs and corrosion, but now they are beautiful. These wheels are looking awesome. I'm really happy with how these turned out, and that clear coat just makes them pop. The tires are getting replaced and I've got new center caps, but I need to repaint the grey parts. Out of the 4 wheels, this one was in the best condition and I haven't painted it yet. This is just base coat and this is base coat with clear. It looks so good. I could take it even further with wet sanding and polishing, but I'm really happy with how this looks, so I'm going to leave it here. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you end up painting wheels yourself, leave a comment and let me know how you get on, or just let me know what you thought of the tutorial, what I could do better next time. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.